My final guest for the Palm Beach County Commission, District 6 Democratic primary, Matt Willhite, currently a state representative here in Florida.
You know, Michael, first of all, I appreciate the opportunity to be with you and talk to some of the voters here in Palm Beach County Commission District 6. My name is State Representative Matt Willhite. I currently serve as a state representative now, representing the 86th district in the Florida House, where I've been the last 6 years. Prior to that, I was a councilman in Wellington for 8 years. I served in our United States military, served as a Navy corpsman, served in the Marine unit for 8 years. And on my day job for the last 26 and a half years, I'm a captain with Palm Beach County Fire Rescue. So I think I've kind of set a life of service out there, that I like to serve our community. I like to give back. And I think it's an example that my wife and I are trying to give our kids, is that your community is only as good as what you put into it. And so we want to be a part of our community, have a say in it. And so that's why I want to continue to serve.
What are the key issues? And one rundown from our friends at the Palm Beach Post has said quality of life issues are a big deal to you. If you're elected, what are the key issues you'll focus on, sir?
Well, I mean, quality of life is what everybody wants for their family, right? They want good parks, they want good schools, they want opportunities for their kids to grow up in a safe environment. But obviously, some of the key issues right now affecting this district or Palm Beach County or all the state of Florida is housing. And we're recognizing that the housing market in Palm Beach County averages about $600,000 to $650,000. And so how can a person coming out of college wanting to be a teacher or wanting to be a firefighter or wanting to be a bus driver, all these different things, can they afford to live in Palm Beach County? So we need to work on affordable housing foremost, and one of the first things we need to do. Obviously, insurance is another big factor.
Before you move on to insurance, what specifically might you try on the affordable housing front, and as it pertains to part of that district where people are economically disadvantaged, especially if you look at the Pahokee, Belglade area? Talk about that a little bit more on the affordable housing. What specifically you think you could tackle?
Well, I mean, this year in the budget, I got $17 million in the budget for affordable housing, which talked directly to modular homes, which is mobile homes, which is something that I'm finding and hearing across this state right now, that people are buying travel trailers and they're putting them in a campground because they only have to pay a daily rate to live in that campground for the night in their mobile home, or in their travel trailer, because they can't afford to buy a house and they can't all afford all the things that go along with it. So I got money in the budget for that, to start working on that. But I think Palm Beach County has allowed developers to buy out of some of those affordable housing units when they get development orders, and there's supposed to be a certain percentage that are affordable housing, and they buy out of those. And so that's not happening. Palm Beach County has a policy that you're only allowed to have one residence per lot, where maybe if they were to allow a second resident on that lot, where maybe a mother-in-law's quarters or a guest house, where you could someone rent a small structure there, where whether a single person or a single professional could live in that property and have a house and a kitchen and everything. That's an opportunity. I mean, I've always said we need to redevelop instead of just develop, where when a developer comes in, they level the ground. And a lot of our Eastern Coast areas, redevelopment is a great area to do that and go up.
And let me ask you on development, and then I want to jump to insurance. But one thing that's been an issue there, your position, GL Homes, this land swap that's been talked about, GL Homes land swap, allowing the home builder to build on preserved land west of Boca in return for giving the county land in the acreage area. Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, I mean, there's three candidates in this race. Two of us have adamantly opposed this, and I'm one of those people that is against that. I think a promise made is a promise kept. I think we need to protect our environment, protect our water, our resources. I mean, we wouldn't have to have a bear shot in Royal Palm Beach had we not taken away all of their natural environment. And so the more we build and the more development we continue to do, and we just strip the property of everything when developers come in, then we lose that natural environment, and we lose the natural environment for our animals and wildlife as well.
In our remaining moment here, insurance. I know it's a big deal to you. Cap off your comments in your introduction with your concerns about insurance and what can be done about it.
I mean, obviously, we have a major problem in Florida. We live in an area where there is hurricanes and coastal problems and different things. You know, we have insurance companies leaving Florida. We need to entice insurance companies to here to protect them. You know, Citizens Insurance has become 1 million customers now in the state of Florida, that we need to get back to the industry of running insurance and not have Citizens Insurance to be the biggest one. You know, they have a $250 billion obligation right now to them. So, you know, some of these issues are the things that are very important, I think, to Palm Beach County voters. And I think I'm one of those people. I think I have the experience, the knowledge, the contacts, and I think on day one, I could step in to do this because I have been elected. People know me, they trust me in what I've done, and I've passed 23 pieces of legislation in Tallahassee in 6 years. That should say a lot about me. My strongest opponent right now has never done it. Has talked about working for someone. I've been doing it. I've been working in the legislature, passing laws, putting policy in place for the state, and bringing money back to the state. And so I know I can continue to do that. And I bring a lot to the county commissioners, the county commission, to be able to work with those colleagues there and make Palm Beach County a better place. And again, my wife and I want to make this place a better place for our kids than we got it. And so that's my goal, and that's what I'm going to work on. And hopefully in 13 days, I'll win the primary on August 23rd to be the next Democratic nominee for Palm Beach County Commission.
Now for our roundtable with our News Channel 5 political analyst, Brian Crowley. And Brian, this week particularly, I'm put to mind. We have so many important local issues that directly impact lives in Palm Beach County and on the Treasure Coast, and yet everything seems to kind of take a back seat to the national politics, national that are local this week out of Mar-a-Lago. Kind of interweave that theme for us together here.
Well, it's sort of like, you have to worry about politics at the local level first, and then work your way up. And this district in this county commission race is very fortunate to have, candidates who are highly qualified, have deep experience. And they've also been very fortunate that Melissa McKinley had represented them for so long. She's an outstanding person. One of the interesting things is, especially with Matt Willhite and Michelle McGovern, two very, very well-known Democrats, highly talented. It's sort of a shame they're running against each other. The Democrats have already got a shortage of talent out there. I know Michelle a little bit better than I know Matt, and she's fantastic. But that's the kind of politics we need, people that are deeply involved in their communities. A lot of the other stuff is just noise.
Well, we've had a lot of noise, discussion, debate out of what's going on, and it is local for us, of course, Mar-a-Lago just down the street. Talk about the week that was and what's ahead in your sense of all that's gone on at Mar-a-Lago and reaction, including from our state leaders.
Well, in the ongoing unraveling of what's happening at Mar-a-Lago, I would say when we initially heard about the search last week, for me, one of the most disappointing things was that Governor Ron DeSantis, Senator Rick Scott, and Senator Marco Rubio instantly, without any information, came out on the attack. Senator Scott called the FBI and the Justice Department the Gestapo, comparing them to Nazis. They could object strongly and express their concerns, but to create an atmosphere that might encourage people to go too far instead of taking a strong leadership position, we just need leaders to stop, on both sides, to stop doing that. We need calm in this country. Otherwise, it's only going to get worse, and we don't want that outcome.
Yeah, we don't need worse. Beyond the rhetoric, though, I've heard all week people saying, but what happened? They didn't do this with Hillary Clinton's emails. What about Hunter Biden? Each side sees the sins of the other side, but there is legitimate complaint that, well, okay, if you're going to go make an unprecedented search of a former president's home, and we're still watching how all that debate rolls out. What about these other issues that you didn't go do that on the other side? And so therefore, people say, conservatives say, there is political at play, political machinations, I'm trying to say. I respond to that. A lot of our viewers feel that way as well.
Well, I would note that Hillary Clinton spent many, many, many hours testifying before a Republican-led congressional committee. The FBI made an announcement about investigating Hillary Clinton. I think it was the weekend before Election Day, and some say that contributed to her loss to Donald Trump.
Excellent point.
So it's not like it's never happened. No, look, if all of a sudden Merrick Garland ended his investigation tomorrow, said Donald Trump did nothing wrong, the Democrats would be screaming. That's where we're at. Each side screams at the other that the other hasn't gone far enough, hasn't, taken down the leaders of the other parties. And again, is that what we need in this country? In a country that is already very riled up in some segments of it, we need calm.
Ryan, as always, thank you for your perspective, and we'll be back with Brian's closing thoughts in a moment.